we have two different ways for capturing files in Attio for a given startup that you're looking at. Firstly, we can select files and upload files directly to Attio. But there's a better way. We want to use a synced folder. It's really important that our files, pitch decks, quarterly updates, are held in a cloud storage provider. This enables your files to be interoperable across your tech stack, meaning if for any reason you eventually leave Attio, all of your files are kept in Google Drive or OneDrive, so you can get started in your new CRM and simply plug your existing cloud storage solution directly into the new CRM. There are many times when VCs have got caught up with us when we've been doing an Affinity to Attio migration. They've been using the Affinity native file storage, and we've had to run a super specific export process to get those files out. So instead, by keeping them in Google Drive, we can link them directly to Attio through Attio's beautiful synced folders setup. So we can actually jump over to our setting and we can click on storage accounts, and we can then connect Google Drive, Box, Dropbox or OneDrive directly to Attio. So I'm going to select Google Drive and authenticate my Google account. This will allow me to create shared folders that exist in Google Drive that I can create docs on directly on a company. So if I jump back to the deal log and I click into a given organization, now if I select files, if I select these three dots, I can select link a Google Drive folder. This will open up my Google Drive, and I can go ahead and create a folder called USB. And let's create a new folder called Union Square Ventures. Let's click into here. And let's imagine we have a migration mapping document that we are storing on Google Drive. So this document exists in the folder. Now, if I come back to Attio, let's disconnect that one, let's delete this file. I can select the three dots, click link a Google Drive folder. I can then do a search for Union Square Ventures or select this folder. Let's go ahead and hit select. And now if we open up the folder, we can see that the file is accessible directly in Attio. That is option one. Option two is to create a URL attribute on the organizations or deal log list, which you're going to add pitch decks to. The pro of this is it's very easy to access pitch decks. From the right side, we can open up the column and click on the link to the pitch deck if it's hosted somewhere and you don't have a download. The con is you can only really store one attachment on a URL, so I would make it specific to just pitch decks. But let's go ahead and do this anyway. So select workspace settings, and we're going to add our first attribute to our list by clicking into deal log, choosing attributes, create attributes, and then typing in pitch deck, for example. We have to keep it as a text attribute type as there is no URL attribute type available, unfortunately. We want to make sure that it is not required, and we're going to select create attribute. Sweet, we've just created our first attribute, so if we click back to deal log, we can see on the lists section, we have the deal log with the deal status and the pitch deck link now available for us to paste. So in our Google Drive example, if we jump back to the corresponding file we were just looking at, and we open this document up, we copy the link and jump back to Attio, we can paste the Google Doc here, which has the link to the pitch deck. This might be a DocuSend, but if we click this link, it's going to open up the pitch deck. Now there is one final approach to storing file attachments. This is the least preferred option, but it can work quite nicely if you have a ton of files, you don't want to be using the synced folder functionality, and that is to create a note template to store files on. So let's click on the Notes tab and select Create Note. We're going to create a new template, and we're going to call this Files and Resources. In the Start Typing section, we're going to hit the asterisk or hashtag 3 times. I'm going to call this Files, and let's go ahead and create a bulleted list. Now we're going to create a syntax for naming our files. So we're going to say we're going to say file title, and then hammer, and then link to file. This is our syntax, which we can copy and paste every time we add a file. So let's go ahead and add it as a bullet point. Now if we click off of this, we can delete this note, and we create a new note. We select View All Templates, Files and Resources, and it's now loaded up the file title and link to file template. So what we can do here is simply replace this with pitch deck, and if we hover over link to file and paste the link, that's going to go ahead and add the link there. And then if I want to create a new file, we can just hit return, and we can call this like quarterly report Q2 2025 and have the corresponding link. The nice thing about this is, even though there's more overhead, we can indeed update our template. So we can say, look, let's go ahead and have a dedicated section just for quarterly updates, and then we could be like pitch decks and investor resources, and we can go ahead and organize our files according to headings. But as compared to the Google Drive option, there is more overhead. It does take longer to manage. Probably quite nice if you have an EA to look after this. Here we've created a simple deal pipeline. We have some stages, and we have an easy way to manage files on our deal log. It is 4:48 and we have 11 more videos to do, so I'm going to try and edit this in the next 9 minutes, upload it, and get on to the next video. If you enjoyed this video, please do consider subscribing. And if you'd like us to migrate your data from Affinity to Attio, click the link down below and we'll cover much of this process for you.